What is going on, people? It's your boy 3NG here, back with another video. And if you guys can slap a like and dabble for your boy one time, it definitely helps me out. We're going to talk about this Titanfall 2 and the situation that they're currently in right now, being that Titanfall 2 failed to beat Titanfall 1 sales in the UK. Big disappointment in my opinion, being that Titanfall 2 is such an improvement of Titanfall 1. I know a lot of people were a little bit distasteful with Titanfall 1 being a lack of content, being how the story was implemented into the multiplayer. There was a lot of stuff wrong with Titanfall 1. But yet Titanfall 2 definitely improved upon that, made their own separate single player, and actually did very well with the single player in my opinion. And the multiplayer actually added much more customization, much more unlockables, much more, creativity with the multiplayer. Still a very fluid first-person shooter in my opinion, a little bit better than Call of Duty in my opinion as far as how the first-person shooter mechanic is handled, but yet still failed to beat Titanfall 1 sales. And in my opinion, I don't think this is a bit fair. I'm gonna go through why this may have happened. This may have had happened, and that's because EA, come on, you allowed Titanfall 2 to be released a week and a half or 2 weeks after Battlefield 1, one of the biggest games you guys have, one of the biggest games that was just promoted beautifully. Like, it was just advertised amazing. It was ridiculous, and you decided to launch this game 2 weeks after that. Battlefield 1 is still top first in 2 weeks straight. Like, the Battlefield 1 is a huge game. Battlefield is a big title. Then not only that, you decided to release this game a week before Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Although I have my opinion on this game, Infinite Warfare will still sell millions and still caters to so many more people. Your game hasn't received recognition of, I can't wait till Titanfall comes out. Yeah, it hasn't gotten there yet. Remember, there's only been 2 games, and people could have seen a little bit of more potential in this game, but it hasn't yet hit because of the fail in sales since this week. Released your game in the middle of 2 big juggernaut games. Now, another thing I will say is that, yes, it reached top 4, and in this top 10 list is kind of crazy to me, but I'm going to just read off the top 10 list. First, obviously, is Battlefield 1. 2 is Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition. 3 is FIFA 17, which is a big over in the UK. Titanfall 2, and then Farming Simulator is actually number 5. Mafia 3 number 6, DBZ Xenoverse 2 number 7, Gears 4 number 8, Grand Theft Auto 5, which is crazy as shit to me, is number 9, and Forza Horizon 3, which is topped out at number 10. Now, another thing though you got to understand here is that these are only physical sales. This isn't tracking the digital sales. I don't know how the digital sales are going right now. I'm assuming they're a bit better than the physical sales, but it's sad to see that even with physical sales, it did not match off Titanfall 1 sales. That is a big disappointment. But what I will say in defense is that in today's generation, everything is really going that digital route. You notice it with music. Music album sales physical don't match off the streams or don't match off digital sales. Now, in my opinion, I'm going to say this is just poor marketing strategy. Like, this is just poorly made marketing decisions in which how you handle this game's launch. And being that you, once again, release this game between 2 juggernaut games. I understand CEO of EA or someone from EA came out and said that they are not worried because they're going to cater to 2 different audiences. But still, you're taking a risk because that other audience caters to Call of Duty as far as it being an arcade futuristic shooter. And it's so sad because Titanfall 2 is such an amazing game in my opinion. I have so much fun playing it now, much better than the original Titanfall game, and it just couldn't match off in sales. Now, what I would have suggested is, even though I know you wanted this game to come out this year, you could have just left more, room for polish, I guess, if you wanted, but release this game maybe first or second quarter of next year, simply to give it some space for people to actually play versus now having to choose whether or not they want Battlefield 1, Call of Duty, or Titanfall. And to be honest with you, Titanfall isn't as, I wouldn't say irrelevant, but it is as relevant as or recognized to be that shooter or that go-to shooter like Call of Duty is and Battlefield 1. Although Call of Duty has taken a whole different avenue, people still consider Call of Duty a go-to shooter. So yeah, you kind of put yourselves in a position here, and the top number 4 is a bit disappointing because you didn't hit number 1 in sales in the UK. I don't know how it went in the US, but seeing that, yeah, man, that was a big mistake there, releasing this game between 2 juggernauts. You basically got sandwiched. You basically got sandwiched. I ain't gonna say hold this L, but you got sandwiched. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Who here played Titanfall 2. And if you have, how do you feel about the game? In my opinion, I think it's a much more smooth shooter than Call of Duty. The first person shooter mechanic is much more better to me than Call of Duty, to be honest with you. But yeah, drop your comments below on your opinions, and I'm out. Peace.